Hello, welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to the sounds of my backyard. Today I am recording outside because that is the time that I have to be able to record this voiceover. So we're gonna give it a try and hope that there isn't too much annoying background sounds going on. So today for this video I am using my new ArrtX markers. This video is not sponsored, but my good friend Mira Byler, who also does YouTube and is a fantastic artist, showed me these markers. She let me try her markers out, and she actually did a video where she tried out the new 90 set of ArrtX markers, acrylic markers. And anyways, you have to go check out that video because that's what convinced me to buy my own set. I can't describe how fun they are to use. They literally feel like you're painting but with a marker. And I've heard a couple of artists say that, like who have tried them for the first time. Well, they describe it like they're painting but with a marker. They're just so fun. So for this video I'm using them, and I am doing a full sketchbook spread, which is not something that I usually do in my sketchbooks because they usually intimidate me too much, and I just don't do them because they kind of scare me. But I decided I'm gonna try it out and do a landscape scene, which I've been doing a lot of lately. If you've been following along, or if you have seen a lot of my original artwork on Instagram or on my website, then I have a couple of pieces that are like this, or I do a lot of sketches in my sketchbook like this because it feels like something that I can actually do, and I enjoy doing it. The really cool thing about these markers is that you can layer them so easily. And as you can see here, like I am layering this bluish, like dark teal on top of the pink color that I laid in the background. I did the pink just so that I had a color other than like white to work on top of, but they layer so nicely. You can do a lot of different layers with these markers on top of like previous layers, and it creates such a cool effect. You can either like leave them a little bit translucent so you can see the colors that you put below, where you can kind of see me doing that here. Like you can still see the peach color or like the pink color coming through, or you can create more layers that are more opaque and you don't see like what is coming through. And that is one of the versatile ways that I like using these markers, because you can create different effects, and I don't know, it kind of gives it this like dreamy feel. At least that's kind of how I would describe a lot of the sketches that I've been doing with these markers in my sketchbook. So for the first little bit, you'll see me kind of blocking in just like shapes of where I want the landscape to lay out. And this one is going to have a tree line in the back, as you can see, and then a little beach in the front, like a sandy beach area in the front, and then a little bit of water in the very front. I like drawing this scene and painting it. Obviously it looks a little bit different every time I do it, but I like this general like concept because it feels really easy to do. You can make it as simple as you want to, and you can probably hear the airplane that's going overhead. Yeah, you can make it as simple as you want to, or you can continue adding like more and more layers, more and more highlights or more shadows, and like you can get more in depth if you want to with it, but then you also don't have to. That's one of the reasons why I like drawing this scene, because it feels like no matter what I'm feeling creatively that day, it's an attainable sketch for me. It's an attainable drawing for me. I still have the water in the sky to block in color, but I I tend to jump around a lot whenever I'm drawing and painting. Like, I usually don't stay in one place and finish one part of the drawing before moving on to the next. I'm usually jumping around. So you saw me add a little bit of dark layer to the tree line and then go back to continuing to like block in color. And I don't know why I do that. Sometimes it's a little annoying because it would be nice to just like finish one thing while I'm working on it. But it also just works because, I don't know, I think I just feel something like as I'm drawing and I'm like, oh, I want to add this to it and I don't want to forget that I want to add this. So then I just go ahead and add it. So here, when I'm adding to the sandy beach, I am starting to add more layers on top, and I'll go back and forth between adding highlights and then adding shadows to things. And I'm not being very picky about making sure I fill in all of the space like a solid color. I like how it looks whenever the bottom colors like still come through. Now I will finally block in the color of the sky. And you might be wondering why I'm using this light pink for the sky and not blue. And the best explanation I have is that I've just been really into this light pink for sky color. I think it makes me feel like I'm in like a Candyland setting. It also makes it just feel more dreamy, and it's not necessarily supposed to be like a sunset or a sunrise. It's just supposed to feel cozy and light and airy. It's just really fun to color with this light pink color. You'll see it a lot in my work. Alright, now let's add some more highlights and shadows into the water. The best way that I know how to do water is just like add these different like lights and darks in these like straight lines across to give the appearance of like the water moving, or I guess ripples. Mira Byler, the artist that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is incredible at painting and drawing water. So if you are someone who wants to learn how to paint or draw water, definitely go check out her videos. Go check out her paintings because they're incredible. Alright, so now I'm skipping up to the tree line. I did a little bit of the water and then I decided it was time to go add some highlights to the tree line. So that's what I did. That's what I mean by jumping around. Another really good thing about these markers is that they don't bleed through the paper. And the pages in my sketchbook here, I don't show it in the video, but they're fairly thin and I wasn't sure how they would hold up in my sketchbook, but I will go ahead and like draw on the other side of both of these pages because there isn't even any color bleeding through. That's a huge plus. And even though they are acrylic, they don't take long to dry at all. So you don't have to wait for a very long time before you can go back and add layers on top. Oh man, being outside and hearing the birds, watching my toddler like go and ride his bike, and I set up the swimming pool today. It's supposed to get up to like 84 degrees today. It's very sunny, so I set up the swimming pool, like a little blow-up pool. But being out here and enjoying this amazing weather, it's just so nice, and it makes me very excited for the rest of this summer and being able to be outside. Whenever I started this drawing, I didn't know if I was going to add clouds or not, and this is one of the best things about these markers. I am using fairly light colors on top of that peach pink color. I am able to add a few layers of lighter colors here so that I can block in these clouds. You do have to wait until the markers dry to add those layers to make the white more opaque instead of translucent, but it works. So it's really easy to be like partway through a drawing or a sketch and be able to pivot because you can just draw over whatever you previously had drawn because these markers layer so well. I feel like the whole theme or the whole method to this sketch specifically is just adding layers of highlights and shadows. And because this is not from a reference photo, it's just from my brain and from drawing this scene before a lot of times. I think I have like an idea of where highlights and shadows would go and like what colors to use, but I could really benefit from drawing or painting from real life. If you think about drawing from your brain versus drawing from a reference photo versus drawing from real life, the benefits of drawing from real life are that you see the lighting like as it is with your own eyes. There's no distortion between like if there's a shadow on your reference photo or like trying to decide like what color that actually is. And I think it just helps you get a better understanding of how light is hitting objects, like if you're actually there experiencing it. Another thing about these markers is that they always dry a slightly different color than what they look whenever you initially put them down on the paper. So with this dark purple, you'll see it like right whenever I put it down, it doesn't look quite as dark until it starts to dry. Thank you so much for watching this video. Every minute that you watch helps me and supports me, so I really appreciate it more than my words or my videos can express. This is the finished sketch. I really like how it turned out. The contrast between like the pinks and purples and a little bit of yellow and the greens is just so fun to look at. You'll definitely see me do more scenes like this, and you will for sure see me using these ArrtX markers more in videos because I can't get enough of them. And don't forget to go check out Mira Byler's videos because she has a lot of videos where she uses these markers and lots of other videos where she does really awesome stuff. I hope you enjoyed listening to this voiceover outside in my backyard as much as I enjoyed recording it in my backyard. I hope you have a good day.